We know how the story pans out. You find self-love, you find love, and I think people don't realize that Interstellar's a love story at its core, isn't it? Interstellar, the film, it's a love story. You're talking with Anne Hathaway's character around the meaning of love and transcends time and space. I guess, what does love mean to Matthew McConaughey?
What does love mean? Well, let me piggyback on what you just said a minute ago. You said look, self love leads to being able to love someone else. I'm I purchased that reciprocity that you bring up right there. Um, that we gotta we gotta be able to love ourselves. We gotta be able to respect ourselves.
Mm,
We gotta be able to believe in ourselves before we can love, respect, or believe in somebody else. Before we can give our best to someone else, or show them our best, or show them our worst.
mm, mm,
Uh, you know, love doesn't. There's a lot more love in the paradox than the contradiction. And I will say this: love. You know, it's not. Again, I'm. It's not. I don't believe it's the hallmark. When people say love is the answer, okay, maybe, but love's got teeth. Sometimes love's got fangs.
mm,
Okay, and it can bite and be bitten. It's not foolish. It's not, in some ways it's public, but in some ways it's absolutely private.
mm.
In some ways it's for everybody, in some ways no, it is exclusive as can be, in particular to this person, this place, this thing. I believe we can love more than people. I believe we can love places. I believe we can
Mm.
love feelings. I believe we can. I think it's good to love being alone at times, because we're actually, it's more than, people think that's a lonely place because only one person's there. No, there's two there. You and you. There's a Socratic dialogue, and what's that? How's that conversation going?
Mm.
Oh, I tell you what. Sometimes I can't stand the company, my own. But when I can't stand my own company is when I'm telling myself, well, I think it's a pretty good time. Like Camilla says, go take a road trip. You need to spend some more time with yourself because you're not getting along with yourself right now. So go figure it out. Um, so, and then, here's one of the greatest examples of what love is. Remember the film Adaptation?
Mm.
Nicolas Cage plays his brother, Nicolas Cage. So it's at the end of it, the Chris Cooper character's coming. They're in Nicolas Cage character and his brother are in the swamps, and they're hiding behind this big tree. And I'm going to paraphrase and butcher this up, but you'll get the meaning. The older brother, who was the successful writer, talking to the young, sort of more nerdy writer who wasn't as successful, he says, "Hey, I got to ask you, man, about that girl in high school, Katie Langley, whatever her name was. She came to you and asked you, like, if you would go to the prom with her. And she was like a really popular girl, and she was so pretty and everything. And you said yes. And then as soon as you said yes, she laughed at you, and all your friends came out, and all of her friends came out and laughed at you. You're like, she's not going to the prom with you, you dork, da da da. And you just looked at her and smiled and kind of walked off and said, okay. I was like, how did you do that? I mean, how'd you not get mad, embarrassed? He goes, well, I cared and loved for Katie Langley, and it wasn't precipitated on whether she loved me back. It wasn't
Yeah.
dependent on her loving me back. I still did and still do.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful, when you say, hey, I'm giving the unconditional, and it
Mm.
goes out unconditionally. And you don't have to pay me back if I give you a quarter of my love. You don't have to pay me the exact quarter back. I'm going to keep giving. We're not going to add up to see where are we on the debit credit section. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm giving it, and it feels good going out. And whether you like it or not, I'm giving it to you.
Awesome.
Thank you for spending time with us here at Always Better Than Yesterday. Hope you enjoyed that clip with Matthew McConaughey. If you want to see more just like that, you can head here. And if you want to watch the full episode, all 45 minutes of goodness, you can head here. I appreciate you.